Hello, welcome back students. Today again we are going to start with the chapter 3 diversity in living things and their classification. We had completed with part 1 and part 2 of this chapter. If you had missed it, you can check the link into the description box. So student, in this module we are going to learn about classification of animals. So, we are going to learn about unicellular and multicellular organism, vertebrates and invertebrates, oviparous and viviparous, terrestrial, aquatic and amphibious animals. Let us see diversity in animals. Diversity in animal is with respect to their body structure, their shape, size and habitat, their food and feeding habits. Now, diversity in animals is different animals have developed different shapes to survive in the environment. There is a great variety in the body structure of animals too. The amoeba that cannot be seen with our eyes, the huge elephant, the small snail, the fish that swims in water, the kite that flies high in the sky, butterflies that flit around flowers, a house lizard that crawls on a wall are all animals. Each has different characteristics. Animals have body parts like a head, neck, a torso, a tail, and a limbs for movement. They have various organ systems which carry on various functions inside their body. In this respect too, there is a lot of diversity in animals. Student, you will not see all animals in your own surroundings. Why is it so? Which are the other animals that you know of but have not seen? So student, based on this, we are going to perform one activity and let us know which organisms are they which we cannot see. A drop of water from a puddle and place it on a glass slide. Observe it under a microscope. When a drop of water from a puddle is seen under a microscope, innumerable microbes can be seen moving about in it. You will see the continuously moving amoeba. The paramecium is also a unicellular animal like the amoeba. So student, the organism which exist in surrounding but you cannot see with your eyes, that means they are unicellular. Unicellular means made up of a single cell which cannot be seen with our eyes. It can only be seen under microscope. So, a unicellular organism. Unicellular organism consists of a single cell. For an example, amoeba, paramecium, etc. Now, multicellular organism. A multicellular organism are those which consist of more than one cell or a multiple cells. For an example, a horse, a bear, tortoise, human, etc. are all multicellular organisms. As you can see, this plant which consists of organs like root system, shoot system, conducting tissues, etc. So they are made more than one cell. As you can see, human organ system. First there is a cell, and with the help of the existing cell, a group of cell forms a tissue, then a group of tissue forms organ, then group of organ forms organ system, and organ system forms an organisms. They are also made up of multicellular multiple cells. So they are called multicellular organisms. Vertebrates. Animals with a vertebral column are called as vertebrates. Vertebral column means, student, your backbone, which arises from brain. So student, a vertebrate is an animal with a spinal cord surrounded by cartilage or bone. The word comes from vertebrae, the bones that make up the spine. Animals that are not vertebrates are called invertebrates. Vertebrates include birds, fish, amphibians, reptiles and mammals. So student, vertebrae simply it means which consists of a backbone for their support. As you can see, it enables flexible movement, provides structural support. Invertebrates. Animals without a vertebral column are called as invertebrates. Student, invertebrates are animals without a backbone or bony skeleton. They range in size from microscopic mites and almost invisible flies to giant squid with saucer ball size eyes. This is by far the largest group in the animal kingdom. 97% of all animals are invertebrates. As you can see, the snails, bivalve, they are invertebrates. Their shell act as a exoskeleton, which means which is present outside the body. Cockroach, earthworm, etc. They are not having any kind of a bones for their movement, for their support, for their flexible movement. Oviparous animals. Oviparous animals lays egg. Oviparous animals are animals that lay their egg with little or no other embryonic development within the mother. This is the reproductive method of most fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and the monostream. In traditional uses, most insect, mollusks, and arachnids are also described as oviparous. Student, oviparous means who reproduce their young one with the help of egg. There is no reproduction of a baby inside the animals. For an example, you can see the life cycle of a bird. First, a bird life cycle begins with an egg. Baby birds hatch to get out of their eggs. The hatchlings grow into fledglings, which are immature birds. When they have finished growing, they become mature or adult birds. Some birds migrate or travel long distance as part of their life cycles. Other birds spend their whole lives in one area. Another example of oviparous animal is life cycle of a fish. There's an egg from a mature fish. That egg grows into a larva and then into a juvenile fish, and after that into an adult fish. Viviparous animals. These animals do not lay eggs, but they give birth to their young ones. Viviparous animals are those in which fertilization and embryo development occur inside the individual. Humans are viviparous. Mammals such as cows, monkey, chimpanzee, dog, cat, etc. are viviparous. As you can see, embryo of human, embryo of dog and embryo of cat. There is no egg, there is a embryo. Understood? Egg means oviparous and embryo means viviparous. Terrestrial animals are animals that lives predominantly or entirely on land. For an example, you can see squirrel, elephant, lion, zebra, cat, dog, etc., which live on land are called terrestrial animals. Aquatic animals are those which live predominantly or entirely in the water. That means they will live only in the water. For an example, dolphin, ribbon eel, which one kind of a fish, jellyfish, etc. All which lives in water are called aquatic animals. Amphibians, which rely on a combination of aquatic and terrestrial habitat, means which lives in both places, on land as well as in water. For an example, frog, salamander, toad, newt, etc. These animals lives on land as well as in water. Aerial mode of life. Student, aerial means which is adapted to fly in the air. Some of the birds and insects fly in the air. They are said to have an aerial mode of life. Their body is covered with feathers. They have a presence of air sacs. For an example, butterfly, bird, eagle, honeybee, etc. Students, what we have learned in this entire chapter. Plants are classified on the basis of their height and shape of stems, period of life cycle and habitat. Animals are classified on the basis of cell structure, vertebral column, method of reproduction and habitat. Student, now I want you to do a small assignment based on this video. What is unicellular animals? Give one example. Define multicellular with an example. What is vertebrates and invertebrates with an example. Define oviparous, viviparous, terrestrial, aquatic, amphibians and aerial mode of life. Students, always remember, in the living world a lot of diversity is seen both in animals and plants. Every plant and animal is unique. We should all make efforts to conserve this diversity in the living world. So student, biodiversity is the way, so don't let nature go astray. Truth be told, biodiversity is worth more than gold. जीवों की रक्षा है देश की रक्षा. जीव जंतुओं की करोगे जब रक्षा, तभी होगी पर्यावरण की सुरक्षा. So on this note, I would like to end this chapter. So student, if you like my video and you want to make me such educational videos, so please do like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Till then student, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.